For many, the pain is hidden behind a smile, but for others like transgender woman Katlego Masimolole, the emotional burden nearly cost her life.
At home, go gola gape e le ke le ngwana o ileng gore like I'm different to people gape, so jaanong different ke ra gore as like bottom gating looking like a lady but mo teng e le male akere ke le female yam. So jaanong my grandfather ke nne le gore most of time o na nna pressurize a ira se like jala konte community gape ko sekolong jaanong ke akere you know what gore life I mean is happy ya la tota ne ke nna ke le mo ntung ke nna le di stress tsa gore kana mo ke berekiswa like the week ke sa batleng ka teng ke dira dilo tse e leng gore ga ke di bate ke gone mo e leng go hela gone ga ntira gore ke change ya no e ke simolano ke re tsore king the only way hela ke gore I should just get rid of myself. Maybe that's how everything can end. Ebele shame ya mo lapeng ka gore gata I bring shame and all that ke se and all that.
For Dineo, the loss of a loved one and unemployment pushed her into depression, a struggle she says many in Botswana silently face.
O bona le tlhokola ditiro go nna le ngwana and nobody is there to help you. You've lost somebody close to you, whether your parent, your brother, your sister, any of those. That thing e khona go tlogela phatha engwe e leng gore o sala o ipotsa how se tso sokola. When you are a mother and you are sitting there, you don't have a job, you don't have anything, your child looks at you and says, Mommy, I want this, and there's nothing that you can do. Every day, nothing comes.
Experts say these personal stories reflect a deeper national crisis. The Botswana Network for Mental Health, Bonme, knows that the country's socio-economic conditions are taking a heavy toll on people's well-being.
Issues of unemployment ke di issue tse leng gore di imetse Batswana tota ka gore ke a tsoga phakela with hope ya gore ke tare ke isa application ke hiriwe ngwaga wa go hela 365 days ke batla tiro ga gona sepe se diragala. So you find that ga go sa tlhole go kgathalesa gore ke motho wa mme o ke motho wa rre kana ke non-conforming. The bottom line is that we are going through a serious financial challenge. Unemployment is godimo.
At Bosa's Net, acting clinical program manager Kutlana Morris says both men and women are showing worrying trends of suicidal thoughts, though women often reach out for help more than men.
We are seeing that a lot of men are reporting to have suicidal ideation, and together with having an attempt. This is different from when we see with women. Women are reporting to have suicidal ideation, but really very few are reporting to have had an attempt before. So this difference shows that actually while women are reporting to have a lot of suicidal ideation, it speaks to their mental health, but also we are realizing that the reason maybe there might not be quite a lot of attempts reported by women is maybe because of how society now treats women.
The first time there is a tipana. I have a scar, momping. It is a tipan. My grandmother cannot happen to Arachalabat. I was how old? Nikili 20 to 22 years. Hey, Abarachalabat, Abul. Because that time in Nikilla, the time that I was doing it. Then the second time, we became a rope. I ke change speaking mind one gore ke le ke change, but ne ke setse ke go le mo go nnela gore I need to do this. The third time ne le koloi.
I was sitting there I remember ne ke tswa konte ile hala ke tswa konte ke tsena mo ntwe ke nwa dipilisi ke di tselela tsothebe ke di tsenya mo ganong ke di tshela mo ganong ke nwa. Those tablets are yellow. Ke nna mo yelo ke be ile ke tswa be ke tsana ke utla ke tsaka se ke thogo go pa be ke ya go bathroom ha ke tsana go bathroom from kota sekwa ke bona ke nna mo yelo ke utla ke nna mo kota helana.
Both survivors shared their perspectives on the importance of counseling and emotional support.
Even though you can go through counseling, the counseling hyper ke bathong ke gore a ke tse gore we can use what. That's why most as rona re le banana we use drugs. Body bujalwa boing body zolo boing those are kind of things gore tlhele re feel gore at least ya ke di gogile for those 30 minutes, for that 2 hours or 5 hours, ke le ko bareng, like gwatswa and ke ta khona go dirang gore ke thulamele.
I went for counseling ko Marina. I was booked for counseling ko Marina. I went there. It did help. I be ke khona gore ke ne botokanyana, but yeah, it does help counseling, but it has to start with the people that you are living with, your friends, the community, how they take you. Because montasa now bonnet to them. Once in a while, you find somebody as if but they don't understand what you are going through. The only option because then everything's the same.
Faith leaders say cultural expectations also play a role. Reverend Prince Dibela warns that the belief that men don't cry continues to harm emotional health, urging men to open up and seek help.
You want to show this stoic young man that is strong and does not show their emotions in public. And that's the man I became. And I think many men have to carry that idea that when you are a man, you are not supposed to be seen crying. Now we go through a lot of challenges. There are no medicines in hospitals. You see your cousin dying, and you are supposed to just carry it inside you. You see your child staying at home, they have a master's degree, they cannot find a job. You carry that burden inside you. That builds, and over time it explodes. That's why we have so many suicides. That's why we have so many violent reactions, even to small little problems or little argumentations that we have. People become very violent because we are carrying inside us a lot of pain that is unprocessed.
Human rights advocate Jimmy Gatsa of Success Capital says society must understand that the weight of discrimination, poverty and isolation can feel unbearable.
Suicide is a preventable occurrence because, one, there's proven evidence bullying has an impact on how people end up wanting to have suicide ideation. We know for a fact that men are almost double susceptible to committing or wanting to die by suicide as a result of social pressures.
Charity Kiki Kennedy of Botswana adds that many families lack strong support systems, and when family ties break down, people often turn to substance abuse or violence as coping mechanisms. She further knows that gender-based violence and financial pressures have compounded the mental health crisis, especially as both men and women struggle under growing economic hardships.
Life is very hard, and you find that men are still expected to carry that role of being a provider. And socialization, ba dirile gore ba ska ba express, ba ska ba bua when they are ba image. Gore motho o sola mo teng mme go le thata a sa khone. Khantenyana gona le gore a ntshetse konte o hela go tswa go le violence kana hela itela botso because o palwa ke go face shame ya gore as a man socially I'm known or I'm supposed to be a provider. Aba hela ipitala gore mo semong se leng gore ya no nna le kgatelo ya maikutlo e leng gore e heteletse. But same time le bo mme le bone there is that pride you nang as an individual e leng gore o batla seriti se o batlang gore o nne le sone. So imagine you go to a point where how khone o itekela di sanitary towel, how khone go tlhokomela ngwana ga gago, how khone go dira sepehela le gone go hela go imela maikutlo.
But amidst the pain, solutions are emerging. Success Capital provides trauma healing toolkits, storytelling spaces, and advocacy for inclusive policies that recognize mental health as a human right. The organization also calls for a care-driven health system, one that integrates counseling and psychological support into all public health services. Botswana is also advocating for national counseling call centers and increased funding for mental health outreach so that services reach rural and undeserved communities. Ke Neelo Lepoi, YTV News.